Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are live right now, and if you guys... ladies and gentlemen, we are live right
wait a
now,
minute!
And
Wait a minute!
Okay, I do not want to hear myself ever again. But we are live. Sorry about that. My actually, while I have the chat open, we do have that available. So anyway, okay. So we're going to be doing, this is going to be Clan League Season 20, week number 6 between Salvation Army and Pain Clan. So this should be a pretty fun matchup. Now I am going to be it's going to be a pretty long cast. It's going to have every single matchup. There are a lot of reps to go through, ladies and gentlemen, so this should be a very fun time to have. So, anyway, we start off with the 2v2, but I'm going to wait for our co-caster Frost to do that, as there's just a lot to talk about, and I do not think I could handle another 2v2 at this time. So that's going to be those players. I don't know their names quite yet. We're going to jump into Cozy, or Pain's Cozy versus Salvation Army's Brozoa. That will be a ZVZ. And then we have Elena versus Prozoic. I've seen Brozoa last week and Prozoic last week. I don't really remember. Yeti, actually, I remember last week as well. If I remember correctly, he was a pretty good player. And then we have Marine versus Yeti. And then we have Michael versus AQ. Now, Michael might be the Michael for the Michael of Cheese or whatever his name is. So that's going to just be the rundown of what the games we have today. So, anyway, I just want to talk about that real quick. Now, if you guys are liking Frost, if you like that co-cast, then it's going to be awesome. Because he will be joining us after he's done eating his dinner/lunch. So if I do get my call going randomly off in the middle of this, I do apologize. It's just him calling me to get ready. So anyway, he's actually watching us now, so he'll probably wait for the first game or two to go on, then we'll get him going on. So if you guys like me single casting, then you'll get me for part of the night at least. Okay. Anyway, so why don't we get into this? We'll do game number 1. Now remember, this will be a ZVZ on Sniper's Ridge again, so let's do this thing. So Prozoa was not a terrible player if I remember correctly from last week. I mean, I go through so many players so quickly, it's kind of hard to tell. But anyway, spawning in the top right, it will be Salvation Army's Brozoa here, who's hitting a very, very high APM max right there. And so it will be cross positions in this ZVZ, and spawning in the bottom left, it will be the Teal Zerg Pain Clan's Cozy. So I'm going to go quickly change the overlay. Also, if you feel, guys, if you want to use the twitch.tv chat, it should work for me. I just have to quickly change a couple options so I can get to it. But anyway, first it's going to be purple, because that's what we're doing. That's a nice little purple color. And then I actually have to do one other thing before I get actually into this awesome cast of mine. If you do hear an echo of mine, I do apologize. Okay. Nope. Channel! Okay, for half a second. Come on. I do not want to... Okay, there we go. I'm actually unmuted. I muted that anyway. Okay, so... Okay. I can see the chat now if you did want to write something to me. Okay, anyway. So, ZVZ, this is like my 3rd ZVZ so far today. We will be seeing that extractor trick going down. So it looks like it might be Overpool coming out of Brozoa right here. And now spawning down here. It looks like 12 yeah, 12 hatch, I would have to assume. Yep, it's going to be 12 hatch. So, I mean, I don't know. ZVZ, not my favorite matchup to cast, but not terrible. Not terrible. You know, of the crazy games we've seen, some of them have just been absolutely ridiculous. So we'll see if we're gonna have these players gonna be as ridiculous as they were in Division A. So week number 6 is that crazy shenanigans week, because that's what they do. But okay, anyway, we will be seeing actually a drone scout as it is cross positions more or less, probably just because the overlords just gotta take so long to get there. It's just probably better off to drone scout. You try not to, obviously what I was told by Frost, you know, just about, you know, maybe an hour or two ago. But yeah, still is droning pretty hard right now. I mean, we're seeing, you know, the pool still coming up right now. Not even droning after 10. Looks like the macro hatch is going to be on the natural for both players. So both players are going a little bit, you know, different build orders. It looks like we're well, it's actually hard to say. So it's like, so his pool is finishing right about now. So yeah, definitely Brozoa has a faster pool. So those lings are gonna be a little bit faster. But you know, keep in mind, cross position ZVZ. you know, by the time those lings get down there, he's gonna have his 6 to 8 lings out by up here by the time anyway. So it's not a terrible idea. Speed is also coming up, so it looks like he wants to go more speed ling heavy first. And never put down the macro hatch actually. I guess he was just checking for. Oh, is he gonna sunken rush? He's gonna sunken rush. Yep. Yeah. Okay. We are seeing some crazy cheese. Okay. You know, probably Frost is kicking himself right now, just being like, oh, I wanted to see this man. Well, this will definitely punish that. I mean, his lings are gonna be coming out right about now, and like I was saying, he even got one in the main base. I didn't even notice. But that did delay the mining time there. Well, I guess one of these will be able to get up. Maybe not. These lings are going to be trying to come in here. Will they work? He did have to pull drones right here. That is Cozy's, by the way. That's one that's coming up right now. Brazoa's trying to make this work, but I don't think it may. No, it just got up, but I think he got the cancel. No. He did not get the cancel on the sunken before I came up, so he did not keep that 50 minerals that he'd like to. But, okay. Regardless, though, I mean, you know. 2 idle drones, which is, you should really not have in ZVZ. Oh, Brazoa got in the main base here. And might be able to get a couple drone kills, potentially. So, one has gone down. One circling for 1 drone is definitely a very effective trade in ZVZ. No lair for either player, so really not really going. Well, it's been kind of crazy. I mean, we had like a sunken rush that failed, but because it's hard to do that on Sniper's Ridge because it's so big cross positions. I'm not sure if this was the right map to do that on, but hey, what have you. So I mean, what can we expect from either player here? I mean, it looks like Cozy's going to be going up for some kind of pressure right now. Will it do some damage? I mean, he's got to be pulling up a ramp here, so this will give Brazoa the amount of time he needs to get a nice arc going. And we have that macro hatch coming down as well. But he could get lair now, but he's not opting to go that SE. That is a lot of lanes coming from Cozy. Yeah, actually, Brazoa didn't even get that arc he needed, and oh no. That is so many lings in the base. He has no sunken up. That might just be a GG. Yeah, that's going to be GG, in my opinion. I cannot see how it's going. Yep, there's the GG by Brazoa. Yeah, so sad, but Brazoa was not able to win that game. Probably what put him behind is that he invested so many minerals into that sunken rush. It just didn't work. It was a cheese, it pays off for itself or it doesn't. You win the game with it or you don't win it. Or put yourself ahead in the game, but it just didn't happen. So, yeah. So, why don't we go on to, unless Frost or Alex is ready, I'm not sure if he's going to be available yet. So, while I'm figuring that out, he's typing something to Skype. He's typing something into Skype right now. Gotta eat, not tea ready yet. So he's not ready yet. So, alright, anyway. So we're going to game number 2 here. Okay. I know he's watching. I know exactly why you're watching, but I'm just saying. Okay, anyway, game number 2 will be on Python. So, interesting map, for ZVZ. Map choice for a mirror matchup is kind of an interest. I mean, of course, you might have an edge with your build order on it, but it's somewhat moderately difficult to do. So spawning at that 12 o'clock position, it will be Pain's Cozy or Pain Clan's Cozy, who won last game by just defending off that cheese provided by our blue Zerg, as our Salvation Army's Brazoa here. So we're going to quickly go change the overlay. Saying Black Sheep Wall, I believe that's probably an OBS out there, if anything. Okay, so Cozy, blah, 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 blah. Okay, Cozy is now orange. Because orange is an epic color. And Brazoa is actually kind of still the same similar color, but I'm going to make it more of a bluish color. That's a nice blue color right there. That's pretty awesome, actually. That's pretty the same color, but Cozy did win game 1. So, So, I mean, Brozoa did go for that cheese. Really go for it again. He's at a deficit. So if he does lose this game, his team's gonna be, you know, behind in this series. You have to keep in mind. Alright, so what are we saying from opening builds right here? It's same thing with Overpool as well. He's not doing the extractor trick this game. Oh, I guess he's going for 9 hatch, maybe? Yeah, I guess he's going for 9 hatch. Or no, 12 hatch. I guess he was just waiting for it. I don't know. It's kind of interesting to see this. I mean, you see the player go for the extractor trick one game and then all of a sudden just not do it. So I mean, that edge that you would get, I guess, just isn't consistent throughout their games. I don't know. A little bit indecisive. Now, Brozoa again has put off a scouting drone and got lucky. And now also this is really close by air, so Mutalisks, I'd assume very fast Mutalisks. So yet he's gonna take the expand. I'm not really quite sure if that's what Brozoa should be doing, but that's okay. I don't think, because the problem is this is just gonna be at risk of, you know, Mutalisks be coming out. I mean, look how fast the Russian Sims is. But doom, like it's really like you're literally like super close by air. Benefit though, Brozoa will have, you know, it tugging the wall, so it's gonna be a little bit further for him to, gonna be harder for Cozy to get Mutalisk Caress off there. So I believe that he'll have the better spawn location. I mean, like here where you have a little bit more surface area to move around, and you don't have to run through the base. I mean, here, if there's gonna be a spore here, I mean, it's gonna get hit by 1 or 2 spores. So we'll see how it's gonna go down. But definitely, Brozoa's gonna be in a better position. Oh. What? That is awesome. How come I don't? Well, is that on like rally or is that just? That is epic, man. Are you seeing this dancing overlord right here? And that's BM. I mean, Brozoa even losing that last game is just gonna continue to do that. Be annoying. Now, if I remember correctly, a player was telling me the other day that sometimes you can put an overload over the hatchery, so it's difficult to click on. I don't know if that's what he's trying to do or not, but he's just dancing with it. So I mean, Brozoa, if you'd like to do that, what have you, he's gonna be getting that layer up, just starting right now, getting a couple links out right now, and that macro hash has gone down. He's gonna be investing into a sunken colony right away. Probably not a terrible choice, as there's gonna be around 8 links coming down to his base right now. So just wants to be a little bit worried of that. But you have to be careful though, because you know this ramp is, you know, further up to the north, so I mean they can actually just run in. But these links should be hopefully able to stop that. Nope, it looks like they're scouting links here. A lot of links are coming out right now as well. Neither player is joining up, so neither player is doing really greedy at this point. So still dancing, still absolutely dancing, absolutely loving Brozoa right now. I believe I did like Yeti was a player that I absolutely enjoyed last week. I forget exactly what he did, but I did love Yeti. Salvation Army's Yeti. I have to go like play these players. I gotta go find like replay packs. You know, that's what I need to go ask these guys. Like Walk Blue. I need to replay pack from. I need to get replay packs for my favorite players. Like that's what I need to do, and I need to cast them. Like I just need to get my replay packs because I'm a big fan. Like, you know, games. I need to get a replay pack from him. I need to get a replay back from a lot of players, but anyway, a lot of links are making their way, so it looks like a link bust for the time being right here. Layer is done. Spire's up for Cozy, and Brozoa's Spire is actually just slightly ahead. Pretty much identical timing. That's a lot of links though coming from Cozy right now, and it's gonna have to come down to the Sunken though. Will the Sunken be able to do enough DPS right there? Will it attract enough of the links here? And it looks like Brozoa will be able to hold. Yep, Brozoa will be able to hold. That's a lot of link blood, by the way. Yeah. So, I mean, now it's going to come on the Muta battles. Now, I mean, I wouldn't really give either player the edge here. I mean, you have to keep in mind, just like Frost said, just like, the whole reason for, actually getting in there, getting up a drone, that's pretty huge. But, you know, getting back to that, though, you know, the whole reason why you get the second base is to get that extra gas, but you don't get that for another, like, 10 minutes anyway, so it's not a huge deal that you don't have it. So, I mean, both players have macro hatches, and actually, if you were to get, like, to the nitty-gritty, you know, Cozy would actually be ahead, because, you know, his mutants are going to pop out here, while he's going to have to, like, regroup them, and then, you know, joint attack to his base, so, you know, if you're gonna get really nitpicky about that, I mean, is this super high level play? No, not really, but I mean, it could happen. I mean, neither player showing a super adept skill, except for this Dancing Overlord, which I absolutely love. Okay, but Lings are making their way across the map right here, and will they be able to do enough damage? That will be the question. And Lings are going to be going for round number 2 here. Meatlists are out. Doing extra DPS is always going to be helpful for the defender. Are we seeing any Meatlists coming out of Cozy here? It looks like Scourge are actually going to be the choice. Oftentimes you see this in ZVZ when the Meatlists are actually come out faster for the opponent that you normally react with Scourge. I mean, you'll eventually get your Meatlists. That's what's going on right now. Uh-oh! He lost one, but he wasted all 4 of those Scourge, so not really being that really effective with that. I mean, one Meatless is definitely going to be very effective. I'm not sure you realize that, but like 2 drones can be instantly killed right now. Okay, he killed this one. Yep, so nice 3 kills, 4 kills actually. That one Meatless right there, and that's really going to help Rozoa in the long run. Because now that's going to be, if he needs to reproduce those, which he's doing, it's going to be at a loss. Because I mean, he has to squeeze in those things, but now he's going to be at a link deficit. That's a lot of links, though. Coming out of his base here, did I ever tell you that I love this color on Zerg? Like, Brozoa has, like, the awesomest Zerg color ever. You know, also, for, like, any race, like, this blue color, it's not, like, blue, it's, like, light blue. It's just, like, blue, like his name on the overlay. But it's, like, slightly darker. It's, like, that kind of blue. Like, that blue is really awesome. I love that color of blue, you know. Just pointing that out there. Okay, so, oh, that Scourge connected. That Scourge did take 1 hit, so you have to be careful, though. Zerg going to be making their way back over here. Will it be okay? We'll be defending up the ramp, though. Very, very smart decision right there. And we'll be retreating with this, Mutalisks here. It looks like he might be able to defend. Oh, Scourge, I believe, connected on one of the Mutalisks, but didn't kill it. So, very, very, very tight position right there for them to be in. These guys didn't get any kills. No, they did not. And, you know, gonna be kind of very, very interesting to deal with. Okay, so, pretty, you know, fairly even for the time being. I mean, you know, Brozoa definitely has to be a little bit more cautious because of the space. Okay, GG, because now there's actually Meatless harass, so I take that back. Very interesting game. So, actually, Brozoa was able to tie that series 1-1 so far. So, you know, not a bad trade at all. And, yeah, we go into game number 2. I think, though, I mean, it's kind of hard to nitpick about that. I'm just trying to, like, figure out what we saw. Oh, what's the guy's name? I totally forget his name. Cozy. I'm trying to think what he kind of did wrong. I mean, he got those macro. You know, the big factor was when he got those 3 drones. I think that's when Brozoa really got that those 3 drones, 4 drones. It might have been 3 or 4. That really changed it. I mean, that natural expansion really didn't play off for anything. And it actually kind of probably was a little bit more hurting for the early game for Brozoa to handle because, well, I mean, you have to put this in the fact because, you know, you don't get that gas super fast. So yeah, what have you. All right, anyway, we're going to our next game because that's what we do. Game number 3 on Fighting Spirit. Map choice, not terrible, but I wouldn't say it favors either or of their playstyles. And I just joined a game that I shouldn't have. Okay, create game. Okay. Ba-doop-a-doop-a-doopy. I'm not tired of Brood Warcasting. I'm just like, I'm still kind of waking up. Okay, so anyway, going to game number 3 of this pretty interesting, pretty fast ZVZ series. Spawning in the bottom right, it will be the Yellow Zerg, Pain Clan's Cozy, who won game number 1, but lost game number 2 because they did lose about that 3 drones to that single Mutalisk there, so he has to be a little bit more careful with his Mutalisks so he doesn't lose them. And Brozoa, who had the Dancing Overlord last game, who did not win game number 1, will be the Orange Zerg. So, Fighting Spirit, close by air, so definitely Mutalisks are going to be the unit of choice here. I wouldn't really think otherwise. And yeah. So I'm changing up these colors. Okay. So anyway. So, you know, what can we expect? I mean, Brozoa played it very, very well. I mean, the reaction timing of Brozoa to, you know, when he took that expand on the lower ground, it looks like he's going to be scouting with that drone, though. Where Cozy will not. He's just going to go for a 9 pull just straight up. So, we'll see if he's just going to win this game outright or how it's going to go down, because, you know, it might just happen like that. You know, and it looks like 9 pull is speed, so we'll see how that's going to go down for him. Now, remember, you know, Brozoa is going for more of a macro-style game. So, I mean, if he holds it off, he's going to be in an advantageous position, because remember that unless we're seeing one hatch Mutalisks, which can happen, I mean, it's just like this is probably going to be more of a speedling opening. And he's going to be seeing that too. So he can either say one hatch Mutalisk, which he should be seeing, you know, soon, as long as that, you know, that drone stays alive. That's why you often use an Overlord to scout, which is actually why it's making his way over to that base location, to know if that layer is coming up. That will really tell what's going on right here. We're seeing a similar build, just delayed. But we're having, you know, got like 3 more drones, so it's definitely going to help out him. But, you know, at the same time, so, I mean, you have to remember, I mean, Brozoa's going to have 3 more drones than what his opponent's going to be having. Yeah, that's got to be a speedily opening, and they're probably going to go transition to layer tech. So, you know, what have you. So, Summoning Pool is about to finish for Brozoa right here. And now, I'd say Brozoa's going to win this game. Alright. So, just wait till the end of this game, Frost. Yeah, so if you guys are just tuning in, Frost was our awesome co-caster last game. So I'm going to ask him just to wait. He was eating dinner, so I'm just going to ask him to wait till the end of this game, because it's going to be, can't really add him into in-game stuff in between a replay. But yeah, that goes down the layer for Cozy. Brozoa, the reason why I say Brozoa is going to win, or going to be favored, I think it's just going to be because I think his reaction timing has been better this series. I think he's been able to outclass Cozy, even though he tried to. And the only reason why I think Brozoa lost game 1 was because he probably did like an all-in, which is probably like the worst part to do on cross positions on Fighting Spirit. So he was trying to do that, but that will be a lot of links. But I believe Brozoa does have the better arc there. So, yeah. Layer is still morphing. Now for Brozoa, his layer is about the same timing though, yet he was actually able to get those extra drones out. So, you know, he's holding this off pretty effectively, but those Cozylings are inside the base here. He does not have a Sunken to deal with this, so, you know, we'll have to see. You know, those 2 extra links did definitely help him to push in the base there. And, I mean, now he's going to be able to help reinforce this much, much more heavily. So we'll see what's going to happen. He has to have to pull 2 drones here, which is kind of hurting his so it's probably equal in economic footing right here, but actually that's really going to help now. Drones didn't even need to be pulled off for that, so now he's going to be able to reclaim his ramp. And even going to be pushing down the ramp, though. I'm really not agreeing with that with... Oh. Wow. Brozoa lost all of his links there, but Cozy does not feel... Okay, Cozy's going to go in the base right there, but... might take a little too long for his links to get there to reinforce, though. We do see a Spire coming up right now. We do also see a Creep Colony going down as well, and we do see a Spire fairly ahead, as he's been a little bit preoccupied. Brozoa's been a little bit preoccupied with this consistent aggression. Feels like he can cancel that. You know, cutting corners in a mirror matchup is exactly what you need to do. You know, to pretty much win. I don't know what this Overlord's exactly trying to do from Cozy. I mean, it's not really... You know, actually, that's the thing that Cozy's not doing right now. He has no idea what... Actually, okay, there we go. He sees that Spire coming out. I was going to say, like, he has no idea what's going on, but he just has a random Overlord in the top left, which I really don't know what he's trying to do with that, but... Okay, so, I mean, now Brozoa is going to go on the counter push here. I don't think it's going to do anything, but... I mean, we'll see. His Spire's up. We should see instantly... It looks like the one-hatch Muta are going to be the choice for both players here. Actually, no, he's going to have a macro hatch coming up, so... I mean, we'll see faster Mutalisks coming out, so I'd assume we need to see a Creep Colony go down, and I'm going to assume we're going to need an Evo Chamber, or Scourge. He's definitely going to need to do one of those 2 things. So, nice walling off of that, and if you guys did, drones will do that ranged attack, so they do that extra damage, but it's actually out in the open and will instantly fall apart. Which, you know, that, especially, you know, since Cozy really cut corners in terms of economy, it's definitely going to be a little bit harder, but, you know, he's going to have those meals out that much faster. But he is actually going for more. I'm trying to look at that last egg over there. Is he getting 2 meatless are coming out? So not going Scourge. I'm not sure if that's the correct move. Brozoa, I mean, Cozy's going to be on the aggressive standpoint right now, I feel like. Where does meatless go? 2 meatless go. Okay, so, or 3. That's 3 meatless. So, 19 supply to 18. So a pretty even supply. He is supply blocked at the time being, but that Overlord should be popping now. Nope, he's still supply blocked. And he doesn't have an Overlord in production. Just starting, so that's really gonna put the hurt right now. Where Cozy's gonna be able to, you know, outproduce, and that's not where a scenario where you want to be in CBZ. And he doesn't even have a Spore Colony, so, ooh, and his Lings are gonna get killed off too, which is allowing for any kind of Ling aggression to happen. But okay, so Muto on Muto battles here. It's gonna be hard to tell who is actually gonna win this. I think Cozy may have the upper hand right now. He's target firing. 1 needles versus 2 needles. He's getting a lot of needles coming out right now with Scourge, so... Oh, but it's too late. His drone count's gonna get very, very dwindled very fast. Oh, he killed off 1. Not a single drone. 1 drone has gone down so far. Will these meals be able to get up in time? Yeah, the damage has been done. Yeah, and I think Cozy may take the game now. Keep in mind though, he does have that macro hatch up and running, so you know he can afford to, you know, change that larva over. But you know, look at that drone saturation. Only 4 drones actually mining compared to 4 drones there. So he's actually kind of evened it out. So I mean, I guess both players are somewhat even here. Brozoa is probably going to want to redrone. Yeah, that's what he's doing right now. So he feels comfortable redroning. He's getting up more Scourge, so he's going to be okay. So, you know, the thing is, you know, Cozy didn't really follow that up with too much. I mean, he's only off of 1 hatchery, keep in mind, so he has to be very careful what those larvae go to. There's a couple of Lings making down to his base here, which he's not going to be prepared for, and that might be game-changing. He's also getting missile upgrades, which I don't agree with. I mean, you know, Brozoa's not in a situation where he can really put any kind of aggressive standpoint on right now. I mean, sure, it might help with the Lings, but there's going to be too many Lings in here, and that just should be GG. Yeah, and Brozoa's really not being very careful. Oh, what? But yeah, there's really, I mean, yeah, those Lings are going to be doing too much damage. He was not expecting that Ling pressure to come in, and all of his Lings, all of his drone doing it down. He actually doesn't have enough to redrone. Actually, he has 6 minerals. Looks like he's going to stay in the game, though, but round number 2 of Meatless, they're going to come out, or Lings. Doesn't really matter what they really produce, but we'll pretty much win this game. So, my bet for Brozoa to win is off. I was going to favorite him, as I did like him last week, but just did not really show his top game for this game right now. I mean, what have you. Meatless just did die, though, from something. We'll see, though. I mean... He's doing his own. Oh, he's doing the same thing what just happened to him, though. How many drone kills can he get? He's gotten 2 so far, 3 so far. Oh, wow. That's actually going to put a huge hurt on him now because there are 2 Lings in his base, though. 2 Lings on 2 Lings, though. Will they be able to defend? Will they be able to see these drones? Remember, he's losing mining time with this. And he's now have to force those the 50 minerals he has. This is such a bizarre CVZ. It is crazy. 4 Lings on 4 Lings. They're getting a better arc for Brozoa here. So, what are we seeing? We're going to be seeing more Lings, 4 drones to 3 drones. He needs to find that. He needs to find that time to drone in. But you know, the longer that Cozy's off that next hatchery, it's gonna be kind of huge. And the problem though is he can't go muteless because there's there's you know. Scourge there, so it's, I mean, when I clicked over here on the hatchery, he must have, you know, Brozoa must have snuck in four Scourge in there and was able to do a lot of damage, so, or kill off the last remaining mutilus. So those are no longer being a threat for the time being. So they're kind of stuck on mass Ling. And we need to see these be the most cost-effective Lings ever. He's down in that Ling count right now, so every hit counts. But more and more Lings are coming over to that base right now. Drones are getting in the action here. Will there be enough though? It looks like it will. This is a very high in intense DBZ though. He cannot lose these drones. It looks like he may lose one. Two have gone down. There's the GG. Once all those drones go down, being kind of ridiculous. Very close game though. Somehow, you know, Brazil almost came back and won, but not great enough. Sadly, that is not the case there. And yeah, I should be able to get my other buddy in here to call. I can call him now, and we'll see how this game's gonna go down. Okay, so he's in here. So what'd you think of that game?
It was weird.
Yeah, crazy easy. So sick of these matchups right now. Oh man.
Alright, no, I just want to make sure that it doesn't echo anymore, because I had you and the stream open at the same time, so is it fine now?
Oh yeah, no, your in-game, what you're hearing is your computer stereo. It's not, you're hearing what Skype's giving off to you and what the Chrome or whatever your Internet Explorer's giving off to you. It's not going to be mic.
So is the password and everything, it's the same, right?
Yeah. So we're going on our next series. So that means, if I remember correctly, let's just double check. That means Salvation Army lost the series number 1. So do you want to go into 2v2 for a change?
Sure, why not?
2v2 is very interesting to cast. So we'll go into this 2v2. Will be on Gladiator. Oddly enough, I have not seen this map once. I think I've seen it once. So I really do not know how this is going to go down.
Me neither, so.
Let's see how this map's yeah.
At least we're doing 2v2 for a change, which means there will be a lot to talk about, and
yeah, so I'll be actually interested in what the lineups for both these teams are going to be. So spawning in the bottom right on Gladiator would be Salvation Army's Prozoic, and where's the other Salvation Army? Salvation Army, are they going to be cross positions?
And
yeah,
Kingpin.
Kingpin.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah, so cross positions on Gladiator. Let's reveal this map for a second. Okay, I've seen this map like once. Kind of very dizzying to look at. So you have a reverse ramp. So I mean, yeah, this is. I don't even know how it's gonna play out. I'm gonna go change the overlay, but yeah, you feel free to talk about whatever you want.
I don't know which language they're talking in. It looks like Polish, maybe not, but it's quite an interesting matchup. It's 3 Zergs and only 1. I believe it's Protoss. So I want to see how that's gonna go. I'm pretty sure that there will be a lot of Corsairs and Templars. And another thing I do want to say is that Pain Team does have an advantage because of the fact that there is both Protoss and Zerg. So
yeah.
Therefore, they'll have this kind of they'll have tech diversity, which will give them advantage over just Zerg tech.
Very true.
So, Fitz, what do you think?
I haven't really paid attention to what's exactly going on. I'm trying to change the overlay real quick.
Oh, you're still working on the overlay. All right, that's all good. And it looks like Purple Zerg named Kingpin is actually going for a 9-pool speed links, which is quite common in a 2v2. You rarely see Zerg.
You really see Zerg what?
Pardon?
You went out for a second.
Oh. Can you hear me now, though?
Yeah.
All right, so 9-pool speed links from Kingpin. Same build order is actually from Cozy.
Yeah, so what is it? Okay, so it's cross position. So what? Salvation Army is on the bottom right and top left, just if the viewers are somewhat confused. Are going to be the teams anyway. So, and do not mind the overlay, I still haven't finished it. But, okay, so it's what, Zerg versus Protoss Zerg? Okay, yeah, so definitely both Zerg, the double Zerg for Salvation Army is probably going to just kind of bum rush and just try to end the game straight up. That's probably what Double Zergs like to do in 2v2. Protoss Zerg, I've seen... I mean, Protoss can tech up while the... We'll see, like... Definitely what we're going to be seeing coming out of Pain right now is they're going to have to be on a much more defensive positioning.
Oh my god, and a failed ramp block.
Yeah, oh, that's gotta be...
That's the game right there.
Yeah, yep. That's, yeah, he's good. I mean, yeah. There's nothing you can say about it. It's just like, well, okay. And we could try to see a reinforcing lanes coming over from Cozy, but it's just not going to work. It's just no.
Oh, yeah. It's also the fact that, hold on, it's the fact that he didn't really move his zealots far enough to the side and all the links just, like, slipped in.
Yeah. Which is, yeah, pretty much what's gonna happen. But anyway, like, what this game would have been if it didn't end like this, you would have seen Protoss wall off successfully, and then wall off. And then you're gonna leave the Nexus. But they would just wall off. That's some other crazy language that I don't know. But yeah, they would probably like want to take up to like Corsair, or, like DTs or Templar, like you were saying. And then the other Zerg would just go to quick lair and then get Mutila's out, which is pretty much what happens. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and what I do notice, I'm not really that familiar with the whole 2v2 build orders and whatnot, but it looks like it was GG and Pain have won. But the thing about 2v2 is that you gotta keep in mind that your victory depends on the survival of your teammate.
Yeah.
And what most people tend to do is they go with a very selfish kind of build order, like we saw from Yellow Zerg. He actually went for more of a defensive kind of build order without any units to defend his teammate, and that's why he lost so fast.
Yellow Zerg. Which Yellow Zerg? Was it Yellow Zerg in there?
I don't know, to be quite honest.
Oh, you mean like Prozoic? Well, I mean, the thing though is like with 2v2, like, especially on a map that like Brood War, if they have 2v2 maps that are specifically designed for 2v2, are not used in 2v2. They're just not. I don't know exactly why they're not, but anyway, getting past that, like Fighting Spirit's not meant for a 2v2 map. I mean, you'll get cross position maps on that, and it's kind of crazy. And what you have to do to compensate for that, I mean, especially when you have a double Zerg, they're gonna bum rush you out. So you have to defend. Like, you cannot be like aggressive with one player. You have to have like you know, 2v2 really depends on the collaboration between both players. So, you know, with that, I mean, both players will have to get their double Zerglings out for a double Zerg anyway.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, you have to realize though, like, you know, one might go Mutalisk, because the thing is that Zerg on the other team is gonna go one or two as Mutalisks very fast. That's what, because they have to they sit back and they get their fastest Zerglings as they can. They get their seconds up, but they will get Mutalisk out. So like a standard, every Zerg, doesn't matter like what team matchup you're on, will go like one base fast Mutalisk. Like that's like the build order with speedlings. Like that's what, and that's their entire tech for the entire game, which allows, you know, their opponent to go. You know, that's why, you know, Zerg Protoss, you see a lot of Zerg Protoss and versus Zerg Terran a lot of time to get that kind of different, that's kind of how it goes down. But, you know, when you have a double Zerg in the mix, that normally just identifies the team wants to bum rush their opponents off the face of the earth. Yeah, it's pretty much what we saw.
Yeah, and that's what you always got to keep in mind in the 2v2 matchups, is that whenever you have two Zerg, you got to expect that early rush.
Yeah.
And the turning point, in my opinion, in that game wasn't even the fact that Protoss chose to go to Gateway, which is the right thing to do in this case, but that tiny mistake he made with misplacing his with his Zealot on the ramp,
Yeah.
cost him the whole game, because the Zergling just slipped through and surrounded his two Zealots he had.
Yeah, and I mean, like the other thing, I mean, like, before we jump on to game number 2, is like, I mean, we saw cross positions on a huge map. How do you go defend your opponent when they're being attacked? Like, all you can do is just play. All you can do is like turtle up. Like, you cannot, even with speedlings, it just takes too long to get there. And, you know, a question that I've always asked is, like, okay, why isn't there... I mean, there must be Brood War 2v2 maps that are specifically designed. I mean, I hate referencing StarCraft 2, but, I mean, like, when you see StarCraft 2 2v2 maps, like, you share the same base as your ally. You, like, those spawn locations make sense. Cross positions on a map just doesn't make sense. You know, it just doesn't make much sense, but it happens.
Well, it's all because the thing with map makers is that most of the map that are made for 1v1 because Pro League is based on 1v1 games. And the thing about there is actually an option where you can change the rotation of like player spawn locations or start location, but in Pro League you have to have a random start location, and that's why it affects the 2v2 maps. Is because there is no 2v2 maps. It's just a 4-player map where you have 3 potential spawning points, and that's about it.
Well, I mean, I was just thinking about, like, a community-made map that was 2v2. Like, there must be map makers in the past 14 years that made 2v2 maps. Like, there must be maps that are there, but no one's found them. But, whatever.
You can even use Python. It's just a matter of, like, varying a few things in the map maker, you know? It's no big deal.
Yeah.
But, anyways, back to the game.
Do you want to introduce our players?
Alright, sure. So, SA is Salvation Army, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So, this time, it's not cross-spawn, I believe. It's top versus bottom.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so... Yeah, so what, the top left is... Okay, Kingpin is going to be red. Okay. Yeah, so it's Salvation Army's in the north, and Pain Clan is going to be in the bottom. So... a little bit easier to reinforce, but it's Fighting Spirit. I mean, it's still going to be moderately difficult. Not as hard as cross positions, but, you know, it's going to be still a bit of annoying to help reinforce your ally.
Oh, yeah, and one of the things I hope that Salvation Army, no, not SA, but Pain team learned from last game is that there will be harassment, like there will be early rush because it's a ZZ versus ZP.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, that's, like, the first thing you learn in 2v2 most of the time. It's like, well, okay, so how do I deal with this? Yeah, like, if you see double Zerg... I've never seen, like, double Protoss, double Terran before. But, I mean, that's probably just because they're not as strong, but, I mean, I don't know.
Well, even double Zerg is never... It's a 2v2 game where both of the players in the same team have the same race is never a good thing in mid and a late game, because 2 different races allow you to have various tech buildings and not buildings, units, which allow you to counter one race a lot better than if you would counter 2 races. Yeah.
No, it's very, very true. So I'd assume, well, we're going to be seeing a macro hatch going down for Pain.
Actually, it's well hatch, which is...
Yeah, sorry, for Cozy, sorry, not Pain, for Cozy. Yeah.
It's quite interesting that he did put down a 12 hatch so early in the game. I guess he is relying on the fact that his opponent is going an aggressive kind of build order. I'm talking about Solvik right now for a Salvation Army Brown Zerg.
Okay. Yeah.
And,
I mean, that might just be like what we saw in like regular ZVZs. It's just like the macro hatch going down there for just potential late game to get that extra gas going later on. But I mean, Kingpin's Zergling's already out, and I mean, soon we're gonna see. I mean, we're seeing a little bit more of a higher tech path for Prozoic, but I mean, still like not. I mean, it's still getting. He's still going speedling, so it's like not even.
And notice how Hollow's actually going for a cyber core, so he is going for that kind of tech build order. I guess the fact that previous game ended so fast wasn't really something they were happy about. It is fun to play a 2v2 game, and you want to have fun for as long as you can.
Oh yeah.
And I guess they just kind of agreed silently, or maybe not. We're not gonna go like rush this time and whatnot.
Yeah. I think, maybe I can help with... Okay, put this on extra high latency as there's no point to actually have, like, latency in a game. But I think I'm lagging. But that's okay. Anyway, so I think, though, I mean, like, you traditionally see Protoss 2 gate open. I mean, and the weird thing though is he's going Dragoon, which he's baking in Dragoon. And he's getting, but at the same time he's getting a missile. I mean, air or attack upgrades. I'm talking about Hollow right now. So, I mean, Hollow's gonna have to do. Hollow is going for the Corsair opening. I mean, it gets a double story. This is the greatest thing you can do, and especially since they're gonna probably transition into Mutalisk, which is gonna except it's getting Hydra. So, for Zoe, it's actually going a Hydra bust, which you rarely ever see in the 2v2, which is bizarre.
You know what I did notice though is the fact that Prozac is actually Hollow. I'm sorry, is actually going for Dragoon right now, which is quite a useless thing in ZZ versus ZP, because Zerg, especially in the early game, they will have that sufficient amount of Zerglings to take down those Dragoons, and Dragoons are quite useless against Zerglings.
Yeah. And while you were talking about that, I'm not sure if you noticed, but Kingpin got like a handful of Zerglings into the base of Cozy and killed off the spawning pool and like I think 1 or 2 drones. And then ran away. Proceeded to run away as well. So yeah.
It does look like he will be able to fight this off, but Kingpin wasn't really utilizing his Zerglings efficiently either. I don't know if you noticed that or not, but they were quite idle for quite a bit.
Mm.
And it looks like he's in trouble right now, which is often the thing for when you go an aggressive build order is that if you fail to initiate an attack, you usually end up in a handicap situation where your enemy just barges in and destroys whatever they can.
Yeah, I mean, now we're seeing this looks like Kingpin's base is, like, dead. I mean, we have a Zealot, we have, like, 2 Zealots in there with a handful of Zergling, or not anymore. I saw some of Cozy's Zerglings in there. Yeah.
It's because Zolwix actually has 5 Hydras in Cozy's main base. That's why he was forced to retreat.
I've never seen Hydra versus Ling before. I've never seen it before.
That is quite an interesting, actually. That's quite an interesting choice of a unit to go harass with, because Hydras are usually the core of your army rather than some kind of harassment unit. People usually stick with Mutalisks or Zerglings for that purpose.
Yeah. I guess he's showing mass Hydra. Now, Hollow, the guy that's actually been teching, is getting +1 attack. Air attack is finishing. And he's getting a second gateway. So, did he ever produce Corsair?
Yeah, there's one right over his Nexus right now, but he's just sending it out to attack somewhere. And
so he invested like 100 in air upgrades, and he only produced 1 Corsair. Okay.
But that's the thing about the reason why I guess he have cut down on Corsair production is that he knows, look, with crippled Red Zerg, with crippled Kingpin, so he's not going for Muta anytime soon. Oh, and he actually has 4 Corsairs, my bad. But
where?
It's right at the Brown Zerg's base.
Oh, okay.
But the reason he's not really committing to this whole Corsair build order is because he sees that there's no lair. He's not going to need a lot of Corsairs to defend. It's more of a harassment unit.
Yeah, there's so much stuff going on. These Hydra have done bombarded in the base. We're seeing mass Zealots starting to come up, coming from Hollow. We've seen Kingpin still in this game with 47... Okay, no, wait. How many? Do that. Zergling, come here. 46 minerals. He has this 1 Ling just chilling in the base with speed.
It's been running around for quite a while, actually, here. It's been at least 3-4 minutes that this Ling been running around just trying to accomplish something. And it looks like Zolwig's actually going for a 3rd base, which is... I don't understand why he would do that, but he did manage to kill like 3 Corsairs right now.
Yeah. But
his third base is not gonna live to see another day, and he cancels it.
That's good though. At least he didn't waste the minerals on that. So I mean, pretty much. Oh, he has a drone. He has a single drone. Okay, so if that dies, he's out of this game. Kingpin's out. So that drone has to stay alive under every circumstance.
And Zealot is speed upgraded.
Yeah, so it looks like the drone's gonna be just like fast enough to deal with that, but I mean that. Oh, he might be able to save that drone. Yeah, it looks like he's gonna be able to save that drone. Probably gonna go back to mining back at his base and chill there. We'll just like not pay attention for like Kingpin for the next like 20 minutes in the game, and then all of a sudden he has like mass like Guardian out from going like back with 93 HP on his hatchery.
And that's the other thing about 2v2 is the fact that things like that happen so often. Is that you you rush a Terran in the early game, you kill off all of his SCVs and buildings, and he flies away with the command center, and then 20 minutes into the game you see the same Terran player just like raping you with and whatnot.
Well, he did kill off the hatchery, so he can't actually produce anything with that one drone now. So, so a lot of Zealots are coming their way down to Cozy's, or a lot. Well, excuse me, Hydra were going down to Cozy's base, but got raped. And proceeded to, I don't know. I mean,
it looks like they're gonna push Zolvik actually.
Yeah.
Anytime soon, because they do know that he's the only one left right now that he does have a decent Sim City here, which is good because he does know that he's facing
Zealot.
Protoss.
Yeah, I mean you can't count out Kingpin, man. He had two lings in that army.
Oh yeah.
I mean he had 2 solid lings in that army that are just, I don't know what happened to it.
They just got erased.
Oh, and they have a drone, and he has a larva that's still, no, never mind, they got killed off of his main base, but okay. So we're finally seeing Lair coming out of Cozy, very, very late. We see an expansion coming out from, Hollow here. So Hollow is, like, the one player that's still, like, in this game.
Oh yeah, and it looks like he's gonna be going on, I doubt that he will be going Dark Templars. I think he's going to go High Templars and Storm. And this is usually the point where the game just becomes very passive and nothing is happening, because both Apollo and Cozy know that they have an advantage. All they have to do is just contain their enemy and they'll be fine.
Yeah, but I am very skeptical if Prozoic can win this, because I'm skeptical that Prozoic that may win this game, because I have seen this exact same thing happen, except the Zerg wins in this scenario, and it's kind of scary. The game goes on for like 45 minutes, but it's still, but the Zerg still won.
And I see exactly what you're talking about right now, because if you look into Cozy's main base, he has no defense against those Mutalisks.
Oh no! Oh no! Not this again!
Down to the wire, it's going to be a 1v1 game. It's going to be a ZVP again. Yeah. Because even though Cozy does have 390 minerals, he's still not going to be able to rebuild an army sufficient enough to fight off those Mutalisks or even to cause any kind of damage.
That Archon connects though. Yeah, wait, of course they do splash damage, right? They must.
Yeah, and that's the thing with his teammate. I'm sorry, is that he didn't respond in time, and therefore his ally is going to suffer, sending them further back down, because he could have sent those 5 Corsairs and killed those Mutas, but instead he chose not to, and reason why they might be set far behind right now.
Yeah, and the problem though is, like, now he has to go defend his opponent, his ally, who actually has like a good amount of drones left over, but I mean, now the Mutalisk can probably just roam for the main base of the Protoss, which he's doing right now. There's a good amount of cannons here. It would be really awesome if he got that, stop that armor upgrade, but I don't think he's really paying attention to it.
He does have an Archon, but he made it nearly impossible to reach into the... Oh my god, he's probably going to be able to pick off these Mutalisks, or at least scare them away from the main base.
Yeah.
Because one thing that Zerg players do not like is Corsairs, but the thing that scares them the most is a combination of Archons and Corsairs.
Bye-bye, Mutalisks, bye-bye.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like, okay, like, that's like overkill right there, but,
yeah. The only problem with this build order that Hollow has right now is that it's very anti-air oriented. He only has 2 Templars.
Yeah,
and a
and
bunch of Zealots.
the other thing though is like he has a lot of Hydra still chilling in his base.
Yeah. But he does have support from Cozy, however, with his Ling army.
Oh, here we go. I mean, he's going to be engaging here. That is going to make a base trade. That's a lot of Mutalisks going down to Hollow's base right here. Will he just be able to break through the Sim City? It's going to be somewhat difficult.
And no, the Mutalisks are actually... I'm covering the bottom side of the action where Mutalisks are just going to rampage through all the turrets and whatnot. And just... It does look like a...
Yeah, I think Prozoic's going to be able to hold. I think...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Prozoic...
And Hollow's losing his main base right now, and he only has 1 Archon to deal with the whole Mutalisk harassment that's going on there right now.
And is he actually taking so much damage from the Grey Worm? Okay. And, I mean, Cozy's, like, out of this game. Like, Cozy's not going to be able to do anything for the next 10 minutes. And all he's doing is putting up Spore Colonies, so he's just trying to defend himself. Selfish bastard.
And it's crazy how it's crazy how we managed to predict 2 games so far where you said that I've seen things like that happen before in Zerg.
Yeah, and then we just see it happen.
Exactly what's happening right now, because all he lost is all Zolwyk lost is 2 Sunken Colonies and a bunch of Hydras and then Zerglings.
Yeah.
While not Pain. I mean, yeah, both of them, Hollow and Cozy. They lost their, Hollow lost his Nexus. I'm pretty sure he lost some other tech structure, or maybe not.
They're even pinging out, like, Overlords just to kill off. Yeah, I mean, Prozoic's going to be just totally fine to take, like, a 3rd and 4th base right now. In a way, yeah. I mean, his main... He killed off the Nexus! I bet it'd be pretty silly for Prozoic not to expand right now.
Oh yeah, I mean he has the advantage, therefore he has every right to expand right now and to pretty much lock in the advantage he has right now. And but it does look like he's not macroing that well right now, because he did have 600 minerals and he still has 300, and he's not putting down his hatchery. So I guess he's engaged. Oh yeah, he is engaged, as a matter of fact, in the battle down at the bottom left corner. He's trying to kill off whatever he can from Cozy's base.
Yeah, and I mean, what's he setting up for? What, 5 Corsair? Will that be able to deal with that? Eh. I mean, he has +1 armor on, so he could probably just kill off the lair if he'd like to.
Exactly, and that's the thing. The reason why, as a Zerg player, you go armor first is that it pretty much cancels out that damage upgrade that Corsairs get.
He's taking so much damage, though, from this Corsair, though. Surprisingly.
And the problem with that is that because he did engage into this attack, and he stayed in it for a while, and then once he started losing some Mutalisks, he decided to leave and surrender in that battle, at least.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he has, like, at least another, like, queued up, like, 3 or 4... or like 6 Mutalisks coming right back up. So I mean, like, he was also getting, you know, attack upgrade coming up right now. And I mean, it looks like Hollow's gonna be pushing out right about now with a couple of DTs, High Templar, probably with Storm. I'm assuming. I can check if he's still researching it, but
I can check if he has it. Doesn't look like he has it quite yet.
Is there a way to check if he has Storm?
Just keep spamming right click on Templar's icon. You see it? Oh no, because there's there's buttons at the bottom, so you won't see that. But
oh, I didn't know that worked.
Huh?
I didn't know that worked. That's a cool glitch. I didn't know that.
And it looks like lurkers are actually out for Zolwyk right now, so we are gonna see some lurker contain maybe, but there are Templars. There is no robotics bay. Well, there is robotics bay. There's no observers out as of yet. So he's not going to be able to engage in this attack for a while because his observer just finished building, and he's not even sending it there, so he's completely unaware of lurker existence.
Yeah. I mean, but you know the thing though is if he has Storm though, like this wall is now going to be such a bad thing for Prozoic right now. Because I mean, now I can't like storm dodge at all. Like it's just making like perfect storm locations. You know, but we'll see. And he's even gonna go retreat. Yeah.
I know what you're saying, and sorry, I was just yawning. And it looks like Zolek actually destroyed Cozy's main base completely, leaving